Journalism in the age of TV and the internet.
Guess what? The rules and rituals have been shifting in American journalism since the 1950s. Now, the news documentary and American television was the most influential and respected since it did not only tell, but it also showed the American audience what was going on in the world by using film, the narrative tool. Now, there are some major differences between print and TV news. Now imagine a camera crew and the TV news van dispatching to the remote location for a live broadcast. The reporters are expected to justify the expense by developing the story, while print reporters are posting regularly online from wherever you can imagine, updating their stories just like that. Another difference is while print editors are cutting stories to fit physical space in between the ads, TV directors are timing their stories to fit it in between commercial ads. And third, the credibility counts. And if it's one thing people believe in is what they can hear and see. And that's what TV's advantage is. TV reporters are on the spot, live, reporting from the location, while print reporters are expected to be detached from this. Now that's for the differences. Now for a little bit of history. In the 1980s, the term soundbite became a part of public's lexicon. Okay, it's equivalent to quote in print news. It's basically a broadcasting report of expert, victim, celebrity, anyone in the street responding to any aspect of an issue or event. This reporting technique can easily create in the early 1970s, there was a stereotype created by the half-witted and but physically attractive news anchors, reinforced by popular cultural images. National news consultants set the agenda for what local reporters should cover and what they should look and sound like. Young, attractive, pleasant, and with no regional accent. Another strategy chosen by news consultants is happy talk. The ad-libbed or scripted banter to create a more relieved and relaxed feeling on the news set and to make the illusion of conversational intimacy with the viewers. Before the cable news and the internet, most people would tune into their local or national news in late afternoon or evening, typically on a weekday, and the programs would be about 30 minutes long. Nowadays, 24/7 news cycle means that we can have TV anytime, day or night. The constant new content has led major changes to what we consider news today. TV reporters, editors, and online news have added new dimensions to journalism. Both TV and print news can now continually update breaking stories online so that their readers and viewers can no longer wait. However, there's a problem for journalists because the internet. Access to these databases and informational sites can keep the journalists and reporters at their computers instead of being out there tracking down certain kinds of new information. The power of visual language of TV news and internet often capture events more powerfully than words. Television news dramatize America's key events. For example, the Kennedy and King's assassinations in the 1960s, Clinton's impeachment hearings in the 1990s, the terrorist attacks on the Pentagon and World Trade Center in 2001, the historical 2008 election of President Obama. All these important events for the U.S. have been dramatized and exaggerated by the visual language of TV news and internet. While Obama's speech drew relatively small audiences on cable when he delivered it live, it became an internet phenomenon on YouTube, viewed by millions of people. It comes to show that journalism, age of TV and internet, have blown mass media to its max.
Alternative models, public journalism, and fake news.
Alternative models public journalism. A small group of young reporters, some of whom had recently worked in the United States, argued that the best way to cover the story was to describe the new crime wave and relay the facts to readers in a neutral manner. Another group, many of whom were older and more experienced, felt that the paper should take an advocacy stance and condemn the criminals through interpretive columns on the front page. The older guard won this particular debate, and more interpretive pieces appeared. So what is being moved in the public journalism movement? Well, the key aspect is it moves beyond the limited mission of telling the news to a broader mission of helping public life go well and acts out the imperative. It moves from the detachment to being a fair-minded participant in public life. It moves beyond only describing what is going wrong to what's going right would be like. Like Davis Merritt, editor and vice president of the Wichita Eagle, states, we need to see people not as readers, non-readers, endangered readers, not as customers to be wooed or an audience to be entertained, but as a public, citizens capable of action. That concludes public journalism. Now we will talk about fake news. Now, we may have seen traditional news reports, but what many Americans are attracted to is fake news. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and the Colbert Report on Comedy Central and Saturday Night Live, which we all seen, are all examples that fall under the same category. Although most information seems truthful, they consequently manipulate media and public opinion by critiquing the political system with humor. They incorporate sound bites, limiting the meaning, and depicts reporters on location, attempting to establish credibility by revealing that they were really there, but they actually weren't. Stewart often mocks the formulas that real TV news programs have long used. He also presents an informative and insightful look at current events. Indeed, many Americans have admitted that they watch satires not only to be entertained, but also to stay current with what's going on in the world. As a matter of fact, a Pew Research Center study in 2007 found that people who watched these satiric shows were more often better informed than most other news consumers, usually because these viewers tended to get their news from multiple sources and a cross-section of news media. And that's chapter 13. Catherine Duquet, back to you.